How we doing, folks? I know that we had planned on doing a live stream breakdown of this PFL card. Unfortunately, time constraints have resulted in this quick picks video. So here you go. We're going to breeze through this super quick. I want to start things off by saying these three guys right here are all favorites of minus 1,000 or more. And I'm not going to bore you with a 10-minute breakdown on each. They're probably all winning. I'm not going to spend 10 minutes telling you why a minus 1,000 favorite is going to win. So we're taking all three of them. Easy to get the card started. Now, when we look at the rest of the card is, a little more competitive, at least in some spots. We're going to start right here at 145 pounds. Taha Benad takes on Tariq Ismail. This one is kind of an experience and, kind of level of competition pick for me. We're taking Ismail. I think he, has obviously shown more against better competition at this point in their careers. I mean, Benadad's only 3-0, and he's fought guys that are also really new to their career, so it makes sense. Benad could totally pull this off. Wouldn't be surprised at all. This is kind of a trickier one to predict just based on the fact we don't know it a ton here. But we're going with Ismail. Next up, Rafion Stotts, Marcus Breno. Now, this is an interesting one. Stotts has only lost to Patchy Mix and the current champion over in the UFC, which is Merab Dvalishvili. So when we look at the level of competition for Stotts, it's of the highest level in the sport at his division. Breno has done pretty well for himself, but it's just he's not quite of that level of the guys that are beating Stotts. So I understand the big favorite for Stotts. I think he should be the big favorite. We're taking him here. Now, the next matchup, this one is interesting because it's A.J. McKee, who's been around quite some time, and he's taking on the newcomer in Paul Hughes. Now, Hughes is going to be the next big star, according to PFL. He's the guy, right? And if he can beat A.J. McKee, that certainly does that for him. However, A.J. McKee is a fighter who is only like 29 years old. And even though it seems like he's been around forever, it's because he's got his start so early at the big stage, right? He was with Bellator at the beginning, continued on. I think AJ McKee still got it. I think he's a better fighter here. Not that Paul Hughes is bad. I just think this is too much for him too soon. And I think AJ McKee gets it done. I think he can compete at the highest level, no problem. Now, look at the next one. Johnny Eblen, Fabian Edwards. This was a matchup that happened once before. Edwards had a big moment where he cut Johnny Eblen and could have won the fight via a cut. However, outside of that, Eblen was winning the fight more or less. I think it's going to be much of the same here, minus the big cut. So I think Johnny Eblen's going to cruise to a decision here. Maybe gets a late finish, but I'm assuming decision. Edwards is going to correct a few things and then not get himself put down, right? So we're going to take Johnny Eblen to get a decision next. Now, this one is compelling because we picked all favorites so far. It happens. This one's a fight where Cris Cyborg's an underdog, and although she's getting up there in age, I haven't really seen any decline from her. Now, I know she's been boxing and things like that, and she hasn't really, been in MMA for a while. But Larissa Pacheco, good fighter. I just think Cris Cyborg as an underdog is silly. So we're going to take Cris Cyborg as the underdog. Now, could she get beat here because, she is getting up there in age? Pacheco's very skilled. Yeah, but we're taking Cyborg at dog money. Love it. It's a great play. Now, this next one, the main event, Francis Ngannou versus Hernan Ferrero. This is a fight where Ferrero is very live as an underdog. He's a huge guy. When you saw the face-offs, he's much taller than Ngannou. He hits like a truck. But the problem for him is Ngannou's most likely the better fighter all around, outside of maybe just, the physical intangibles. And even then, Ngannou's not a small guy. The problem for Ngannou is he just got knocked out not too long ago in boxing. He's only been boxing for quite some time now. He hasn't had an MMA fight in ages. And he's now stepping in against a guy who's actually not bad. I mean, the guy's pretty gosh darn good, if you ask me. Yes, he's not the highest level in the sport. There's not very many heavyweights in the PFL that are super high level. Ferrero's probably the highest level of them at this point. I mean, that's why he's the champion, right? So I could see Ngannou getting beat here just for the fact that, been away for a while, hasn't done much except for boxing. He's fighting a guy that could definitely go out there and starch him. But I got to side with the guy who's the better fighter, especially when the odds aren't super wide. I mean, they're like minus 2 something, 250, 230, something like that. I got to side with Francis Ngannou here, but I won't be surprised either way. Ngannou's got a lot on his plate. He's got a lot going on. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this at all, like the video. I do appreciate it. Again, I wish we could have done a full card live stream breakdown. We ran out of time. It's already Friday morning and I'm recording this. I got to get to work. I got stuff to do. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.